Yeah, I got the Magic School Bus in here today. Yeah, this is my 2022 Indian Chief Dark Horse, and it was my most ambitious project pretty much in my life. I've never done as much as anything as I've done to this bike, but I ran into a problem that, the bike was shaking violently on the front end, and now I'm trying to hunt down what that problem is, and I've actually found the problem, and it involves the front tire. Actually, no, it involves the front rim. So this rim, when I bought it, got it off eBay. Apparently, this rim was actually bent, but I didn't realize it until I had the wheel powder coated, had the wheel mounted. The shop didn't say anything about it, but this wheel is not true. So because of that, no matter what you do as far as balancing, it's going to cause the front end of this bike to just shake. So what I've decided to do is to take this wheel off. Luckily, I have another set of wheels up here for Indian Chief. This is a rear wheel. This came off my Super Chief Limited. You can see the little markers on there when I had the wheel, or when I had the bike, the frame aligned. But I think I have one right here that's been scrubbed in. It's a front wheel. It's gonna work. It already has the bearings in it. What we're gonna do with this wheel, I'm gonna ship this wheel off to Arizona and have it fixed. There's a shop out there that specializes in alloy wheels. They heat them up and they, bend them back in place. But the bend on this thing is not too crazy. It's like a super small bend, but it's just enough to throw this thing off. But what I gotta do now, we gotta get the rotors off, or the rotor off, and I gotta get my spacer off on the other side and the seal, because they told me to leave the bearings in. And we're gonna swap this wheel. But at least with the new wheel, I'll be able to get this thing on the street. Buying the wheel, which was about $200 some, then I bought the tire, which is about another $250. Then I had to get the tire mounted to this thing and balanced, which is about another 40 or 50 bucks at the time. And I had the wheel powder coated. I'm in this wheel at least 500 bucks. It sucks. Kind of unfortunate, man. And also, I had the wheel spacer. Show you that. My custom wheel spacer that I had made and powder coated. This is what blocks off the other side, because this wheel actually has two rotors. This wheel comes from a Chieftain, actually a Roadmaster, but it fits on Chief. You just have to block the, you don't have to block it off, but it just looks nicer if you block it off. When I do this the second time, I'll probably put some Loctite on these, like blue. I didn't put any on it last time. It's red on here stock, but as you can see how I put the imprint on that plate. But when you torque this plate down, I don't want to put the same amount of force that I normally would torque this down, because this plate is just aluminum. But yeah, it's just a little custom spacer that I had made at a local fab shop. And now I just gotta get my seal out, try to save it. I don't want to tear my seal up. But then I gotta get the tire off. I'm not gonna do that right now, but we're gonna get the other tire put back on the bike. Yep, got the bearings. Just ready to go. Just needs a rotor. The cool part about this though is having a spare set of wheels. This is only taking me, outside of showing you guys this, all of 15 minutes maybe. I'm gonna put Loctite on this. It'll be all right. It's not gonna be on here very, very long. I think it'll be fine. I'll just check them. But when I put the wheel on for the last time, I'll put some Loctite on it. But this only took a good 15 minutes maybe to take this stuff off and put the other ones on. So now once I torque this down, basically I'm good until, I swapped it out. But I actually have another rotor. I'm just putting this rotor back on here because this is the one that's been mating with the brake pads that are on the bike. That's the last one. All right. We're done. I'm not mad about it. It's more so just like, darn, you know what I'm saying? Like, one more thing that I have to do. So that's more so what it's about than it is like, it's just kind of like, there's one more thing I have to do to get this thing on the street. But that that honestly, man, that's part of learning like this game. You're not always gonna get it right, and kind of just have to accept that. You know, this actually used to scare me, man. Taking my wheel off of my bike? Nah, bro. I gotta get a dealership to do that. And now we just did it in not even 10 minutes. And we're swapping it. I'm thankful that I got another wheel on the shelf though. All right, it's done. Now I gotta get these pinch bolts in here. And this is another thing out of my way for now. With a full turn, that's good enough. They won't stretch on these bolts. Good enough. All right, we're done with the wheel, man. That was easy. I might go ahead and deal with this wiring too, but the cool part is I could technically put my front fender on because I had a, you know, when I got these painted, I had the front fender also done. The reason I couldn't use it before is because that previous tire, the one that I want on here, it's a 150, and the front fender will not clear the tire at a 150. So I could build a bracket for it, but honestly, I like it without the fender on there. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it as is, but honestly, I missed the chunkiness already. All right, let me try to get this tire off, hopefully without destroying it, right? Gotta break this bead. Oh, this one's gonna come off a lot easier. Oh shit, that was easy. Good news is I can reuse my tire. All right. See no scrapes. Good. Put you back in the corner. That is the entire Roboconda tire changing setup just without my grease in it. Yeah, leave it in the corner, and when it's time to reuse it, I'll do that. But this thing is expensive. I think it was like 600 bucks. But if you change tires as much as I do, it's worth it. And you can just see how easy it was to change it. Looks great. Both sides. But yeah, now I'm gonna package this wheel up. They told me to leave the bearings in. I'm gonna cry about this bearing because this is a special toner ring bearing that has the little rings in it for the wheel speed sensor to detect the speed. I think I gotta take the valve stem out. I just have to go find that out. But I'm gonna pack this thing up, get it shipped out to Arizona, and hopefully I get it back within a month. But when I put this tire back on, I'm actually gonna take the TPMS sensor. Oops. I'm gonna put that on there just like that, and we're gonna get that programmed in the Chief so I can see my tire pressure. So yeah, farewell for a month. Hey, if it worked, it worked. Looks like hot garbage, but guess what? Hot garbage is what makes it to its destination. I'm sending it. Before getting on the street, I needed to add some front turn signals. I had some stock ones on the shelf. I don't like these. They stick out like a sore thumb, but I needed something. So let's see if I fix the problem. All right, so we're kind of in my proving grounds right now, right?
Let's see. Hands off the bars. Got a little bit of shake. Nothing like it was though. No, this feels great. Figured out this brake feel. Got that situated. Come to find out, my caliper was not fully seated. That's the story for another day. And now I still got to figure out my speed situation because it says I have 40,000 miles of range left. But we know that's not right. And you know what? Before I put this wheel on the bike, I didn't check the balancing on it. So it could, yeah, could be. Being that that wheel came from factory, I just didn't even bother checking it. But I can tell you this though, I feel more confident with this setup than I did the first setup. So, and you know what? It could be that my rear wheel is bent too. So who knows? I'm gonna have to take that off and take a look at that. That's kind of what you get when you buy used stuff. The wheels are bent. Because if the rear wheel is bent, it's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna cause some shake. But this right here, like I said, it's just because that handle just doesn't have a lot of honestly, I feel like it needs a spacer. I'll deal with that later. Whoa, that's a turkey. Dude, there are so many turkeys around here. What the heck? Then again, I am in the wilderness, so this thing rides good. Outside of this weird shake that the bike has, it rides good, man. This all sounds good. Yeah, man. Digging that a lot. We're not out of the woods yet with this bike though. Still got some work to do. But the good news is, it's fun work. I'm gonna put some new shiny bits on the bike. I think they're gonna make it look even better. Ooh, it's a nice little bump. And my favorite corner. Yeah, I like this little corner. It's nice through here. It's super nice through here. Yeah, look at this freaking thing. Yeah, man. There's still some shakiness going on here. But like I said, I don't know. It's probably, I'm gonna check the rear index because I have to, I gotta fix my wheel speed sensor in the back. Something's going on back there. And yeah, I'm satisfied with it. It feels a lot better than what it did before I actually trust it now. Fix some of that wiring. I gotta change this brake line out because that one doesn't match this anymore. I have one that's more short. And yeah, it's just cleaning up. And I gotta get the little harness for this so I can mount that onto there. I gotta bolt my tank down. My tank still isn't bolted down for a reason because I know I have to take it off here shortly. So yeah, it's coming, man. I'm happy with it. Okay, let's get back on. My transmission shifts like it's supposed to. It's not doing anything weird. I gotta adjust my levers too, both the shifter and the brake, because they're pretty short. I don't have much room to slide my foot under to actually shift it up. What happens is I sometimes miss my gear. But otherwise, let's see. Yeah. It's got a little it's like right at the end when you get off of it. So I don't think that's anything to be of too much concern. Yeah, I don't think that's of much concern to worry about compared to what it was. What it was earlier, it was crazy dangerous. Like I was afraid of it. I was afraid to ride it, kind of dangerous. You know what? I just thought about it. This wheel, the rear wheel, is actually out of balance. And the reason why is because when I had the wheel powder coated, I took it into the shop, they put the wheel weights on, and I think one of the wheel weights actually came off. So I'm actually gonna recheck that, of course, once I deal with that wheel speed sensor back there. I'm fairly certain that's what it is. So once I do that, we should be good. But like I said, the bike rides great now. And just one more thing that I don't have to think about, man. And these turn signals are hideous, but I needed some turn signals on the front. Still gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the back. And like right now, man, I just wanna ride this thing, and I'll figure out the rest, the customization pieces later. Cause you'll obsess over that pretty significantly. Cause like, I wanted to put like signal lights somewhere in here, not signal lights, mirrors here, because I didn't want them up top. I just don't think it just looks as good up top. And I also wanted to do something with the signals up under here, like you do on the Harleys. I love that look. It's so discreet, you don't even notice that they're there. So I just gotta come up with some type of solution for that. See what's already out there, maybe just buy something and just kind of call it. But right now, if I have the parts on the shelf, I'm gonna throw it on this bike, man. I'm just gonna go for a ride. Like the suspension, for instance, I'm perfectly fine with the suspension on this bike. I don't have to have like dialed in adjustable suspension in the rear. I like the 4 inches as they are, and I like the front, and I'm perfectly okay with that. But yeah, as far as the way this bike rides, man, I'm satisfied. And yeah, just gotta keep working, man. Just gotta keep working.
Got the bike home. It rides good. Still some work to do. It's kind of one of those things, man, you kind of learn as you go when you're first generation motorcycle wannabe mechanic. But we got the wheel swapped out. That other wheel is off. Hopefully they get it fixed. Now I still got to tackle the rear end, the rear tire. The rear wheel is not in balance. Also, there's some parts I want to put on back there. I got a new sprocket, powder coated, got new brakes, powder coated, and I got to deal with that wheel speed sensor. So we're making progress, but I look at this as every time something happens, it's just a moment of learning. When I first started this, man, I didn't know how to balance a wheel. I didn't know how to take a tire off a rim, let alone even work on a bike, period. But you see, we make progress and we're getting smarter every time we do this. But good news, the next part of this, you can click right here and check that out. And yeah, as always, hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.